No, bro.
Bro, like, come on, bro. You had the future in your hands.
The video I made yesterday, yeah, I was holding back a little bit because I didn't want to kick Cormani McClain down anymore. He's already at a low point.
I think he's a young man that's going to find his way real soon. And sometimes you need...
Me saying it doesn't do it any justice, but I can't tell you guys enough how much I admire, respect, and love Coach Prime. And just like that, the drama between Deion Sanders, a.k.a. Coach Prime Time, and five-star recruit Cormani McClain, it continues. So yesterday we talked all about the breaking news that was coming out that five-star recruit Cormani McClain, he's leaving Colorado. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This was a huge story for multiple different reasons, but the main one is this right here. Cormani McClain was the highest rated recruit that Deion Sanders got at Colorado. And if you've been keeping up with the channel or following their Cormani and Deion Sanders situation closely, you would know this feud, I guess we're going to call it that, it's been going on for several months now, dating back to the regular season. I'm not here to give you the entire breakdown with Cormani and Deion, what happened up until this point, because we did that in yesterday's video. All we need to know is this right here. Cormani McClain, he wasn't playing last season, and that had everybody confused because he's a star defensive back, and the Colorado defense isn't that good, so that then led the media to ask Coach Prime, hey coach, why isn't McClain playing? Where's he at? And that is when Coach Prime then proceeded to say, oh, well, the only person who can help Cormani McClain is Cormani McClain. There was multiple reports coming out that he wasn't showing up to classes, meetings, etc. And eventually throughout the season, Cormani McClain, he did get out of that doghouse, and Coach Prime put him into some games, and man, he got straight up exposed. It was bad, okay? We'll leave it at that. If you want more details, like I said, go check out yesterday's video. And I share that again with you because I don't want some of you to think, oh, this is a situation that just happened within the past week or two. No, this has been building up for a while now. Getting that out the way and fast forward time to our current date, transfer portal, it reopens up, and McClain, he enters it. And oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to say this. We're not doing no intro, none of that. If you haven't picked up on it by now, we're just getting straight into this video. When he entered the transfer portal, so 2 nights ago, McClain, he then winds up deciding to join a Twitter space. If you don't know what a quote-unquote Twitter space is, let me dumb this down here. It's just a place on Twitter where people can join it and you can have people talking in it, or you can just have people listening to it. The Twitter space that Cormani decided to go into is a big group of Colorado fans. Here was my immediate question and reaction to when I saw it. Cormani, why are you joining a Twitter space full of Colorado football fans? Why do you care about their opinion? Why? I don't get it. Because in this Twitter space, he was somewhat trying to explain himself. But Cormani, I don't know if someone forgot to tell you, buddy, you don't have to explain yourself to anybody. To go on top of that, you're going back and forth with nobodies. You're arguing with people that aren't significant to the situation whatsoever. I'm going to show you a very short snippet where they're just completely going off on Cormani. I'm going to fast forward past a lot of it because it's just them just straight up saying insane cuss words. You can't even show half a second of it because it's cussing nonstop 24/7. But Cormani, he just interrupts them and straight up says, oh yeah, you boys, you're taking this way too personal.
You better tighten up, fool, I'm telling you.
Hey, bro.
Say what?
Yeah, because in December, your mama...
Y'all boys taking this a little too personal.
Yeah, facts. Yeah.
No, bro.
Bro, like, come on, bro. You had the future in your hands.
That's all I'm going to show you. If you want to see more for yourself, you can go to Twitter and find it. But I refuse to give any of these dudes that are in this Twitter space, I don't know any of them respectfully, but I refuse to give them any attention whatsoever because that's what they want. As to why, Cormani, you gave them any attention whatsoever, beats me. I guess you were just bored. You wanted to entertain yourself, but I wouldn't have done that. I love covering sports, and I know we like to have a good time on this channel, crack some jokes here and there, and that's what it's about. I want to be a place that we can escape reality and talk about college football for 10 to 15 minutes, but at the end of the day, I take what I do very seriously. I say that to say this. The one thing I have never been able to understand, even as a 11 or 12-year-old, is why people care where a kid decides to play their college football at or play their college basketball at, or where they decide to transfer away from their school or go elsewhere. I simply couldn't care less, and what's even more disappointing about this is when grown men get upset about it. If you're one of these fans that bash players whenever they leave your school or they decommit from them, you're a weirdo. That's all there is to it. Let me throw this out there as well. I'm not trying to single out Colorado fans. It happens with every single fan base. And you can go back and watch the videos. Remember when Saban retired in Alabama, we lost all of our great 4- and 5-star recruits, Caleb Downs, Julian Saying, I could go on and on and on, etc., etc. And what did I say every single time we made a video about every single player leaving? It sucks. I wish I would have stayed, but I'm wishing them the best of luck. And I think that's how everybody should handle it. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you shouldn't be upset a little bit when you have a 5-star leave, because yeah, I was upset when Caleb Downs decided to leave Alabama because he was a good player for us. I wanted him to stay. But the difference is I wasn't upset to the point where I even, to the slightest of bits, got mad at Caleb Downs. No. I was just upset because I wasn't going to see him in that Alabama uniform anymore. Sorry for the whole rant on that. Anyways, getting back on track here with the main subject. Yesterday, Coach Prime, he dropped a news bomb on us as to why Cormani McClain, he entered the portal and what was really going on behind the scenes. Here's what he stated, quote unquote, "I pray to God that he goes to a program that challenges him as well as holds him accountable and develops him as a young man. Unfortunately, we weren't the program that could accomplish that." Coach Prime is pretty much saying here in this quote the same thing he said in the regular season where people are asking him, hey, why isn't McClain playing? We'll come back to that in just a second, but I want to show you this video clip on Twitter that I just saw. It's coming from Matt Smith, so shout out to him.
I think he's a young man that's going to find his way real soon. And sometimes you need to disconnect from something to reconnect to something else, to restart you and re-energize you and stabilize you.
I'm going to pause right there. Deion stated, so sometimes in this life you need to disconnect from something to reconnect with something else. And I agree. In other terms here, what he was trying to say, it's time for a fresh start. Couldn't agree with Coach Prime anymore. It's obvious. Whatever was going on with McClain and the Colorado coaching staff, here's what we do know. It wasn't working out.
But I don't dislike any of the kids that may leave, man, because I would just want the best of them. I really do. I'm just crazy like that. I really want the best for all these kids, no matter what transpires in their life.
There we have it. And I'm going to clap it up. I love that last part. Coach Prime is one of the very few head coaches I firmly believe isn't out there just to get glory for himself. He doesn't just care about himself and the wins and losses. He genuinely cares about the kids, and he wants them to succeed and prosper in this life. Me saying it doesn't do it any justice, but I can't tell you guys enough how much I admire, respect, and love Coach Prime. Throw all the gimmicks and social media stuff out the window. If I had a son, I would not be opposed to Coach Prime coaching him because I know Coach Prime would push him to his limits every single day and put him in a position to succeed. Look, you can sit up here and say what you want about Colorado. I'll be the first person to tell you. They suck. They're a below average football team and program right now. However, two things can be true. Yes, Colorado is below average, but Coach Prime, he's a winner. And he himself, he's not below average. Now, with that being said, let's check on the comment section on yesterday's video because I was asking you guys, let me know your thoughts on the situation, and I haven't even looked at it, so you're going to get my live reaction to these comments. David says, shout out to David, one of the top comments, over 100 likes I see. I guess it's the coaches in school's fault that he didn't study film, late for meetings, not showing up for meetings, and not knowing the defense he didn't want to work. Okay, so I believe David here is referring to, I stated in that video, that I don't just solely believe it was all Cormani McClain's fault. And maybe I delivered that message wrong in yesterday's video. I haven't went back and rewatched it, but I'm doubling down on that statement. What I think happened is when McClain got to Colorado, he had this high ego, and he thought from day one it was going to be sweet. He was going to have to start, or he was going to start, and he wasn't going to have to put in any work whatsoever. And he was in for a big news flash, buddy, because that didn't happen. As soon as he got to Colorado, he didn't put in the work, and guess what? He got demoted, and he wasn't even just not starting, but he wasn't even getting playing time. He got into the coaching staff's doghouse early on, and he couldn't get out. And when he got into that doghouse, I think he got discouraged, and I can understand why. Pat Dog stated, shout out to Pat Dog, you don't work, you don't play. Jim stated, Prime won't stand for skill with no heart or toughness, I agree. And Billy said, shout out to Billy, he wouldn't do the work, wanted to go on talent alone. Extreme Sports stated, over 50 players entering the portal, and you speak on Cormani in Colorado? As if this was the only school to lose a bench player? I guess you're trying to throw some shade my way with this comment here, that's what I'm assuming. But it's not shade whatsoever. Matter of fact, if I was a Colorado fan, I'd take it as a compliment that I'm talking about your team out of everybody else in the offseason. I talk about topics that are important and I think other people want to watch and want to see. And this right here with Cormani McClain in Colorado is a big time topic. And wait a minute, hold on. I completely forgot about this. I made a whole separate video too talking about how berserk the transfer portal was going and all the other notable names in it as well. Come on, man. Get out of here with that comment. But anyways, getting back on track here with this comment where you guys are saying, well, Matt, even last year, you was talking about how Cormani, he had zero work ethic. He didn't show up to meetings. He was late, blah, 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 blah. And yes, I did. But I'm going to be 100% transparent with all of y'all. I talked to Travis Honor before I did that video yesterday, and he told me that McClain, he's not a bad guy, just some bad things happened. And by bad things, it's not anything off the field. It's just some minuscule things like we talked about, showing up late for meetings, didn't study film, etc. The video I made yesterday, yeah, I was holding back a little bit because I didn't want to kick Cormani McClain down anymore. He's already at a low point. Trust me, it would have been real easy for me to get up here and say, he sucks, doesn't work hard, he's not going to amount to anything in this life. I could have done that, and hey, maybe I should have done that. But I think some people in this life, some players, they respond differently to coaching, and they need different types of coaching. Some players, they need the hard-nosed head coach like Deion Sanders, who's going to push them, push them, push them. But others, they do need a pat on the back here and there. The bottom line is, I'm trying to give Cormani McClain the benefit of the doubt. I haven't even talked to him personally, haven't met him anything, but I've heard he's a really good kid. And two, I also want to address this. I stated, hey, who knows, maybe the coaching staff at Colorado, they're not that good. Maybe some of this fallback's on them. I'm just trying to throw out some other scenarios here to think about because we don't know exactly what went on behind the scenes. There's many more things I could say. We'll end it off here. Let me know your thoughts down below. But